OK, we are going to start with the latest on Gianluigi Donnarumma's future. The keeper is widely regarded as one of the best in world football, but after a shock fallout with PSG, his future hanging in the balance. Our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solhekol, will tell us more about his future and why it's in the balance. Off you go.
Well, look, I think Gianluigi Donnarumma would still be PSG's #1 goalkeeper going forward if he'd been able to agree a new contract with PSG. So the situation is he's got 1 year left on his contract. He's been in contract renewal talks. The two parties have not been able to come to an agreement about a new long-term contract. That meant Luis Enrique, the PSG manager, had a decision to make because he needs to have a long-term #1. And Luis Enrique looked at the situation and said, OK, well, Gianluigi is not going to be signing a new contract at the moment. I can't go into next season with a goalkeeper who's only got 1 year left on his contract. I need to be decisive. I need to have a #1. And he decided that his #1 was going to be the new signing, Lucas Chevalier, who PSG have just signed. Now, obviously, this puts Gianluigi Donnarumma in a really, really difficult position because he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He plays for one of the biggest clubs in the world, but he is not going to play if he stays. And there have been suggestions as well that this is just a Luis Enrique decision. It's all to do with footballing matters. That Luis Enrique prefers to have goalkeepers who are very, very comfortable playing out from the back. And Gianluigi Donnarumma, even though he is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, that is not one of his strengths. I think that is perhaps an element of it, but I'm pretty sure that if he'd signed a new contract, he would still be Luis Enrique's #1. So what it all means is that Gianluigi Donnarumma has to find himself a new club. I think that's what his representatives are trying to do. That's what PSG are trying to help him to do as well. But obviously, I think it's going to be very, very difficult because there are not that many clubs out there who would be able to afford him, and there are not that many clubs out there who would sort of be big enough for a goalkeeper as good as him. So I don't know what's going to happen. Perhaps he'll go on loan somewhere and then move on a free transfer next summer, because if he was a free agent again, as he was the last time he joined a PSG, I'm sure big clubs would be queuing up to sign him. But it's a really messy situation.
It sounds like a
because he's such a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, it sounds like a lose-lose situation, though. It's
well, lose-lose.
You know, both parties, right?
Well, I'm not sure from PSG's point of view. They don't want to be in a situation where they lose him on a free next summer, because don't forget, I think PSG is still pretty stung by what happened with Kylian Mbappe, for instance. They don't want to go down that road again. And I don't know, perhaps last time round when he signed his contract initially, because he was a free agent, he was probably able to get really, really good terms. I don't know, maybe PSG don't want to offer him the same terms again, or maybe they feel that he wants to run down his contract. But yes, I mean, it is a very, very messy situation, but you have to say Luis Enrique is taking decisive action, and you just have to hope, if you're a PSG supporter, that he's right to put his faith in Lucas Chevalier, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders now.
I mean, we haven't got time to discuss it, but you'd have to think that he would be snapped up, that he is a great keeper. So I know you said that it might find it difficult, but you'd think that Donnarumma will be plying his trade in the Premier League come September the 1st.
I'm not sure it'll be the Premier League, because which Premier League club?
I was thinking Chelsea.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think Chelsea have any immediate plans to sign a goalkeeper. Yes, they were interested in signing Mike Maignan for AC Milan, but don't forget, Robert Sanchez went on to star at the Club World Cup in the US this summer. He got the award for the Golden Gloves from President Trump. He was the best goalkeeper at the Club World Cup. So I think Chelsea have faith in him. Perhaps he could go to Manchester City, but for that to happen, Ederson would need to leave, and Manchester City have not had any offers for Ederson. I interviewed Ederson last summer in the US at the Club World Cup. We asked him, I didn't ask him, I think another journalist asked him about all these stories about his future. Could he be leaving Manchester City? And he said, I don't read these stories. My friends read them on social media and they forward them to me, and they are all fake news. That is what Ederson said about his own future. Manchester United, could he go there? Well, Manchester United have got Andre Onana, and would they be able to afford his wages? I don't think that's a runner either at the moment.
OK. Look, we have got David James down the line right now, and he is there waiting to speak to us. So let's get your reaction, first of all, David, to this story about Gianluigi Donnarumma. Are you surprised, as I was a little bit, that PSG have made him available? As I say, it feels like not a very good situation for the club. What do you think?
Good afternoon. Am I surprised? Yes. Initially, I saw some stuff on social media, either this morning or last night, where Donnarumma was surprised himself, it has to be said, that he was allowed, as you say, or made available. But I mean, I have a favourite goalkeeper in the world, which is obviously Ali from Liverpool. But I would say that Donnarumma was a very, very close second, based on the quality of performance in the sort of latter stages of major tournaments. He's a more than capable goalkeeper. But listening to you two chat just now, there could be other factors that are in play here rather than just his goalkeeping ability.
For that, do you buy into the fact that it's really important to be able to play out from the back, or actually is it more about just keeping that ball at the back of the net? You would know better than most.
I think that Donnarumma is capable of playing out the back. I don't think that's a problem. And the type of club that would be interested in his services, you would imagine for the majority of the time, wouldn't have to worry about that either. I mean, what is interesting, and being here in the Premier League event in Liverpool, is the talk of the 8-second rule that's coming out, and whether or not that's been factored into any of the decisions when it comes to recruiting goalkeepers. But I think Donnarumma, first of all, his shot stopping, as I said, has been shown to be top draw. The only thing is, and I've done a little bit of research myself on him last season, was that if you look at the PSG performances throughout the season, he was having to do a lot in the Liga, which wasn't as high a quality, dare I say, as it was in the Champions League and as he's been doing internationally. So again, if he's going to join a side, you'd expect that his services would be better suited to a side in top competition like the Champions League, and that makes the potential pool a lot smaller. And Manchester United, you mentioned there, definitely wouldn't be in that equation for this season.
But one of your former clubs, Manchester City, would be. Look, Kaveh alongside me kind of poo-pooed that idea, kind of. What do you think? Do you think he'd fit in well at Manchester City? Should they snap him up?
I'm a big fan of his, as I say. So I think for someone like Manchester City, of course, he would suit, because Manchester City will be playing those games that I mentioned before. However, I also feel that with the signing of James Trafford, Manchester City have a long-term replacement for Ederson or Ortega. Trafford has an opportunity, with the experience he's already had in the Premier League and what he proved last season, with which he could enhance his international career as well. I think Trafford is a better suit for Manchester City. It's going to cost City a lot less than having to bring in the likes of Donnarumma, because, as you said in your chat before, I'm sure his wages will be a factor in determining where he goes in the end.